Barcelona to Real Madrid 1 Match report October 26, 2013. Poor old Gareth Bale. On the night when he can only half dreamed of once again showing the football world why he is not just the pretty pay packet, he fluffed his lines in his first Clásico and departed, a frustrated, forlorn and defeated figure after just an hour of playing an anonymous bit part on the biggest stage of all. It was not for want of trying. He worked his yellow boots off, constantly looking to be involved in the action but looking a bit lost and not on the same wavelength as his attacking teammates. All he got to treasure from his big night was the memory of a booking, a couple of hopeless balloon shots and the wholesale derision of 90,000 merciless Catalans. Oh yes, and also the chance to watch from the bench one of the great Clásico goals, a wondrous 78-minute run, check, feint and chip from substitute Alexis, which sealed a fairly comprehensive triumph for the league leaders and which, with Madrid now 6 points behind them, seemed certain only to lead to more searching questions about Bale's true value. For wasn't this sort of skill shown here by Alexis, Barca's own Galactico new boy Neymar, who opened the scoring, and the evergreen Andrés Iniesta exactly the sort of magic Madrid paid a fortune to see Bale provide? Instead, even though there appears nothing much wrong with his fitness now, he is still not delivering anything even remotely like his best. When he trooped off, head down, Real Madrid's manager Carlo Ancelotti, arms folded, did even not acknowledge his suffering Galactico as he walked sadly by. The lad who thrives on confidence, though, will need an arm around him soon, though, if this continues. A late goal from Madrid substitute just, in truth the visitors looked better once he and Bale's replacement Karim Benzema, who hit the bar, were introduced, gave the scoreline a flattering look for Madrid because they were a distant second best and Bale was as poor as anyone in white. It had been a day to feel both genuine delight but also a real frisson of trepidation for Bale because as he was out in the warm-up watching the Barca *Queues* gradually filing into their 90,000-seater home with the chatter of anticipation beginning to rise, he could only have been reminded that he had been plunged into a fixture which accompanied by a unique intoxication and pressure. Last season, the equivalent game was bathed in a more fevered atmosphere with the crowd offering unique declaration of their desire for Catalan independence. Again, a giant banner was unfurled, demanding reclamation of self-determination for Catalonia but to be honest, this time, the general aim seemed a mite more modest, a simple desire to see their £48 million new boy Neymar outshine Madrid's £85 million Galactico. He did too. Once it had been announced that the misfiring Karim Benzema had been dropped to allow Bale to earn his first start since the opening game of the season at Villarreal last month, there was a real buzz about the Nou Camp. The Barcelona faithful were ready for some Bale taunting, having enjoyed watching the comedy sketch on Catalan TV in which he is portrayed cruelly as bumbling Forrest Gump, asking simpleton questions about how to stop Messi. All Madrid asked though was run, Gareth, run. The Madridistas had seen so much of his brilliance on television. One of the 200 traveling fans privileged enough to land a ticket was waxing lyrical on the train from Madrid about Bale's strike against West Ham, that they felt his moment must surely be at hand. Alas, though, the creeping feeling that here was a man still trying almost too hard began to surface. Playing to start with at the center of an attacking trident, with Angel Di Maria maintaining his grip on the right flank and Ronaldo moving to the left, he seems more than a little nonplussed by the role. Start of possession, when he got a rare chance, Bale turned and hammered the hopeful one from 25 yards which just sailed into the back of the cavernous lower tier. All around there were little flickers of stardust being sprinkled, particularly from the fret-exterior feet of little Andrés Iniesta. A nice pirouette and couple of magical backflips here and a visionary pass there, like the one which freed Messi on the right flanks and should have seen him cut in and score the record-breaking 19th Clásico goal. Instead, he curled it fractionally wide. By that time, though, Barca already seemed completely in the ascendancy and at Bale's opposite number 11, Neymar, who delivered the first telling moment, latching onto Iniesta's pass on the left edge of the box and, with his right foot, curling it, via Carvajal's deflection, into the far corner. For his third La Liga goal. Barcelona looked dangerous each time they attacked, which was increasingly often. Even if the use of Cesc Fabregas as a false nine and of Messi and Neymar working their magic largely from the flanks, did not make for the most comfortable looking of attacking systems. In contrast to Madrid's front trio, though, who appeared almost as strangers, they were positively coherent. When Bale, having switched from left and then to the right where Ancelotti believes he is most happy, cut in and had another crack from distance, it was even higher and less handsome than the first effort. It could not get much worse for him, but it did. On the stroke of half-time, the raised foot on Gerard Piqué saw him booked, pretty harshly. Well, at least it was not for diving. In the second half, as Madrid started to come alive, Bale was a peripheral figure, trying to look desperately as if he belonged among this £800 million worth of talent. Better days must come, but when Ancelotti called time on his big night, it felt like an act of mercy.